Yesterday we were in stanza number 29. We have finished it now. In short, we said, if an item in the darkness is to be seen, we bring a torch. The torch illumines all the objects in the room. But what about the torch itself? Will it require another torch to illuminate it? Not at all. The torch by its own self-effulgence, it reveals itself too while lighting up all the other objects. In a similar way, the question which was raised by the disciple was, when you said that the intellect, etc., are all inert, they are jadas, they are not capable of knowing that they exist, they are unconscious, they are insentient. So, he said, they cannot light the Atman. Atman cannot be seen in the light of your buddhi. Neither your intellect nor your mind can ever take you anywhere within billion kilometers of that final truth. No, it can't take you anywhere. And he said that all these things are being lighted up by the Atman. We are aware of our thoughts. We are aware of our mind. It is all due to the power of Atma. Now the opponent put the question, right, I agree, those other objects cannot light up the Atman. Why can't we assume that there is some other force above the Atman? You may call it, say, a super Atman. Well, that is able to light it up. For two reasons, this argument cannot be accepted. If you were to assume that there is another super Atman which lights up the Atman, the question will be, how then is that super Atman seen? Then it will require another super Atman, then super Atman. Thus it is called infinite regression ad infinitum. It will go like that, there will be no end to it, and that is called a fallacy in logic. It is called anavastha dosha, that which will not stand at one place, which will go on moving to ad infinitum. So you come to the anavastha dosha. Secondly, all the scriptures have always said that Atman alone is, and that's why we call it, to reach the goal. At that stage, all your efforts cease. You can't reach the highest by your own efforts. At that time, that grace of that infinite being, you may call it as God, you may call it as the Atman, the self, but its grace is very much required. And that grace is nothing but its own light, by which it comes before it lights itself without any efforts of yours. And this has been described in another Upanishad. I have told it in some other connection. There is a beautiful Upanishad stanza wherein the man is standing almost at the door, but the door doesn't open. The door doesn't open, nor does he have the capacity to get it open. His efforts have ceased. No more efforts are possible for him. Then at this stage he prays to that Supreme Being. He says, Lord, even at this stage, when he has come up to the last of the sheep, called the Anandamaya Kosha, the seat of bliss, he gets enough bliss which is seeping through the veil. Still there is a veil, but in such a thin veil, he is able to see almost, but not fully, because the veil is there in between. He doesn't have the capacity to wear off that veil. And that is then he makes the prayers, Lord, you have made even this so attractive, this stage itself, I don't feel like going beyond it, but I know there's something far, far greater beyond all imagination awaits me inside. So please open your door, remove your veil. Bhushanne apavrno satya dharmaya drishtaye, so that I shall be able to see that which always exists, that which is called the final truth, the satya. So I want to see the characteristics of the satya near at hand. I want to see the attributes. So please, tear off your veil so that I may be able to have a face-to-face sakshatkara, realization of yourself, who is nothing but me. It is my own swarupa. So why can't why should he deny it to you? He has to give, because the one who prays is the one to whom the prayer is sent. So the seeker and sought are not different. Now we come to the next one. Nishidhya nikhilopadin neti neti vakyatahan vidya daityam mahavadhi jivatma paramatmanoham Jivatma Paramatmano. See what happens is, you go by any text, any classical text, whether it may be that of Shankara, it may be the Upanishad, it may be anything, the final method of reaching the Lord, the easiest path is this only. And so this has already been repeated several times. We have seen it earlier in the Hastamalka Stotra, and we have also seen it in the Guru Stuti also. In the Guru Stuti, in the very first one, we started like this, Neti neti ityadi nigama vajanena nipunam nityam kabhuktarashim. We started with this neti neti, and it has come up now in twice that you have to get out of those 5 feet. That is the natural identifications which cloud your attitude. In other words, we are not aware that we are Atman, who is different from the body. So in the initial stages, we are all absolutely identifying ourselves with the body. Atman means this particular person. My Atman means this is Shantananda, who is sitting here with a white beard and a red shawl. Thus, I identify myself with his body. Not only with his body, during your dream, this body is not functioning. At that time, it is your ethereal body, your what is called the subtle body, Sushma Sharira, that is functioning in your dream. Then at that stage, you are identifying yourself with that body. You find yourself there, your own duplicate, in the dream. He is trying to get into a train. The train has already left to the platform. He is running after it, he slips and falls down, and he gets all hardships, sufferings. He is admitted in the hospital, they all look real, but they are not. They are only a dream. Within 15 minutes or half an hour when he gets up, there are no bandages, there is no plaster, there is no hospital. He is absolutely hale and healthy. There had never been an accident to him. Thus, he identifies himself with that body. Then in the last stage, he identifies himself with his causal body. Causal body means sheer ignorance at that point. He doesn't identify himself with anything, but he is unaware as to who he is. He is identifying himself only with his ego. And these three bodies have again been subdivided into 5 sheets. Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya and Anandamaya. The first one is all made up of matter, that is his gross body. The next one is made of this vital breath, a sheet of vital breath. Then you perhaps think that I am the vital breath who is going and doing all these things and is lending all his strength to all my muscles, all my tendons, all my blood, etc. No, you are different from still. Then he tries to identify himself with the intellect. No, the intellect is inert. And then all these mind, buddhi, where do they go when you are asleep? They are not there at all. They cease to function. Atma never ceases to function. It is always existing, it is always functioning. It is there always. There cannot be a moment of non-existence for it. So, the way to reach the highest state of consciousness is Nishiddhya Nikhilopadhi Neti Neti Vakyataha. The technique is told in our Vedas, by Vedas. The Vedantists mean only the Upanishad portion. Vedas consist of 3 portions. The first portion is called the Samhita or the Mantra Bhaga, which consists of incantations which are repeated during our rituals. During the various rituals you do in Homa, you do Chandiyajna, or when a child is born, we have to do certain rituals. When somebody gets married, we have to do certain rituals. So all these times, in order to bestow a prayer of welfare on the persons concerned, we chant certain mantras. They are all from the mantra bhaga. Then we have got the second bhaga, the second portion of scripture, which is called the Brahmana. Seldom you come across this Brahmana. It is never read by the experts because it is more a commentary. It is not to be chanted as you do with the mantras. Then you come to the third part called Aranyaka, where all these gross things are like the various sacrifices, the horse sacrifice, then what you do every day called Agnihotra, then what you do every 15 days called Darsha Purnamasa, then what is called Rajasuya. Like that we have got a number of sacrifices for a number of purposes. Some are meant for Brahmins, some are meant for Kshatriyas, some are meant for the Vaishyas. It is called the Vaishyastoma. So there are different types of sacrifices. All these sacrifices have been made only through imagination. There is no need of purchasing a single pie worth of thing. The fire is not lighted. Nothing is thrown as oblations into the fire. They are all imagined. And that is the stage of Aranyaka. And in that Aranyaka, a part of it is called Upanishad. Upanishad is all full of jnana. The knowledge, not the direct knowledge. Direct knowledge you have to get only through practical experience. It is an experiential knowledge. No amount of books or no amount of gurus can give it to you on a plate. It has to come to you through meditation and contemplation. So, there one of the methods which the Upanishad has told is, try to negate everything. You have to find out Atman, is it not? You want to see the Atman. Because the Upanishad says, Atmava are Shrotavyaha, Drashtavyaha, Mantavyaha. So this is what is said, that it is the duty of everybody to find out who he is. All other duties are nature. What duty can you do to your parents? What duty can you do to your wife and children when you do not even know who you are? So the first and foremost duty is to know yourself. So, how to do it? You just go on thinking, apply your discriminative faculty, what is called the viveka. Just as the swan, when you place the milk you get from the milkman, beautifully it will separate the milk separately and the water separately. It will drink the milk, the balance of water alone will be kept. It has got the capacity to separate the chaff from the grain. That is what we have to do. You have to get rid of all these upadhis. Upadhis are these external limiting adjuncts with which you have identified yourself. You are the immortal. You have absolutely got no limitations. No limitation by space, no limitation by time. You are beyond time, you are beyond space, you are beyond causation, you are beyond all the objects. Wherever you finite, you are infinite. You are always in bliss. No sorrows can touch you. No sufferings can touch you. I am told this beautiful anecdote. Somebody asked Bhagavan, Bhagavan, please tell us really, because of this cancer I am sure, however much a Brahmajnani you may be, still you should also be suffering from that. Then it seems Bhagavan replied, there is pain, but there is no suffering. What a beautiful statement, it requires a lot of thinking. There is pain, but there is no suffering. Pain is a fact. Somebody has pet me. Well, the pain could be there. It is an automatic reaction of your nerve, the muscles which have got cramped due to the beating. It is something physical. The reaction is yours. The reaction comes from the mind. You can weep, you can bemoan, you can call all the people in the world, look here, I have lost the use of my hand, please come and help me, please ring up Dr. Aldapan immediately to come here, rush over here, all this first I can make. Or I need not even tell anybody about it, I can remind. So as such, there is no reaction inside. There is action, but there is no reaction. So long as the external factors, they have an impact on you, but you don't react to it. Let anybody kill you, let anybody beat you, let the heavens fall over your head. You are simply, you are not bothered about it all. It is the body has to go. When the Lord wills, it is already perhaps pre-recorded in the days, so I have nothing to do with it, I am the Atma. You are living in a house, if that house is destroyed to earthquake, what do? You move out to a new bungalow, that's all. You hire, you tenant a new building, that's all. What does it matter? Then why should you bemoan the loss of this house? That is how we are there. There is pain, but there is no suffering. So, they say that you try to negate everything. This is not Atman. Atman cannot be this. You apply all your logic and all your reasoning. You say my gross body cannot be Atman because it is already described by those who have experienced it that Atman can never be destroyed. Atman has no death. Atman has no birth. While this gross body had a birth, this gross body had a death, so it cannot be. Secondly, I will say that I say this is my body. When I say this is my book, obviously I can't be the book. The book is a possession and I am its possessor. Similarly, when I say it is my body, I mean body is my possession. Body is a house which I am tenanting. Well, it is mine temporarily. But I can never become the house. I can never become the body. So, it is foolish to identify oneself with the body. Like this, you apply your logic, you apply your reasoning. So you go through. Similarly, you identify yourself with the mind. Then you say, how can it be? I am able to see my thoughts. I am able to see my mind. What is mind but thoughts? If all the thoughts go away, there is no mind. Mind is only a conglomeration of thoughts. So I am aware of thoughts. So I am the drashta. I am the seer. So a seer cannot be the sight, cannot be the thing which is seen. It is obviously different. And secondly, during your sleep, the mind goes away. So that which goes away, that which never remains, that which goes out of existence, it cannot be the Atman. Atman, it is there for at all times. So, Nishiddha Nikhalopati. Whatever external limiting agents, like the gross body, like the ethereal body, like that avidya, or that ignorance, or the body of causation which you may call, they are all one and the same. It cannot be me. Thus, applying all your logic based on the instructions in the Vedas, we believe 100% in the Vedas. And this belief is not blind. They are all the experiential knowledge of those sages who have reached the highest consciousness and who in their compassion have tried to record as much as can be explained, as much as to be put in writing, even though it won't amount to much. But still, for an aspirant, it is something great, because it obviously points out the starting point, and also it can take you to a large extent. And once you are in it, the path reveals itself. How can it be? The path is the same as the destination. There is no difference. Your destination is Lord. Your destination is Atman. The path is also the Atman. There is nothing but the Atman. The Bible says, I am the way, I am the destination. Both are He. Both are the Atman. So as such, this path goes on revealing itself, and automatically you will be able to go. People who are to help you, from nowhere they will turn up from time to time. They will point out the path. Your doubts will be clarified. You may not see them again. They are not your gurus, but they consider to be several upagurus. Upagurus means whoever comes and just inspires you in between, or clarifies your thought, or tries to remove your temporary obstacles because of which you are unable to progress. All these things come by His grace. By whose grace? It is your own grace. Because there is nobody but you. But then, as we can't believe in our own grace, we call it the grace of the Lord, we call it the grace of Atman, but finally it is called Atma Kripa. It is your own grace. It is the grace of the self. Thus, neti neti ti vakyataha. By going on negating, not this, not this, not this body, this cannot be the Atman, this cannot be the Atman. Use your discriminative faculty and go on negating. nishidhya, nikhilopadhi, all the external limiting agents, then what will happen? Then there is what is called a Mahavakya. That is an antibiotic which you can't yourself take, the shop won't give it to you. You should have a prescription. And this Mahavakya has to be heard only from Guru Mukha, either from inside or from the external Guru. Most of the persons, they are unable to depend on their internal Guru, so they have to resort to an external Guru, and that external Guru is nothing but a personification of your own self. Your own self in all its compassion comes in the form of an external Guru. And the Guru tells you one day when he finds that you are fit, any one of those Mahavakyas. I have already told you there are 4 Mahavakyas, the great statements, the great maxims and the aphorisms in the Upanishads. One is where the Guru points out to him, Satyam Tamasi, you are that, don't consider that you are a body, you are limited, you are that unlimited, you are that infinite consciousness, you are the eternal absolute, you are the immortal. He points it out that you are that. And then what you have to do, this is called the Shravana. There is the first step. First step is you must hear about him. And to this extent the Shankara's adherents, like Padmapada, who have written Padmapada, Sri Shracharya, who are his famous disciples, in their books they say that nobody who has not heard the Mahavakya can ever get their moksha, can ever get their liberation. Even if he has not heard it in this path, he must have heard it in any one of his earlier paths, then only he will be entitled for liberation. To this extent, they place an emphasis on those Mahavakyas. The first Mahavakya is a maxim of instruction. It tells you that you are that. But now you do not know what is you mean by that. How to recognize that? Is it black? Is it white? Is it tall? Is it small? Is it lean and wan? Or is it fat? How do I know? How can I recognize that? Then he gives certain characteristics. He tells him, Prajnanam Brahma. The final experiential knowledge, you call it an experiential knowledge because of lack of no other words. What do you mean by experience? Experience always means the reaction from inside for the impact of something external. Something external comes and strikes against you and you immediately react. That is called experience. It may be a pleasure, it may be a sorrowful thing, it may be painful. So that is the reaction. In the ultimate consciousness when you reach, you don't depend on any external factors. Nothing external can ever do anything. The best of music, which you thought was inducing samadhi new, they are not capable of taking you to the highest consciousness. It has to stop at one stage. Thus, there is nothing in the world, or you are reading the best books of inspiration, they can't take you. They are all meant to guide you. The ultimate is a stage of non-experience where you remain quiet, nothing external comes, you are that, that's all. That's the stage. And he asked, Sir, well, you have told me that this experiential knowledge or that absolute consciousness, Prajnana can also be called as the absolute consciousness, that is the Atman. But where is it? Where is its location? Then he says, Arey, here it is, I am Atma Brahma. The electricity which is working in you, which is making you function, which is making your eyes see, which is making your ears hear, which is making your vital breaths do its own functions, that Atman, that is that. There is nothing else. This is what is called finally the Atma Brahma Aikyam. The identity, the complete 100% identity between the individual soul and the universal. The electricity inside the bulb is never an individual. It is part of that entire flow of electricity, the current flowing everywhere in Tamil Nadu. How can you call it an individual? So finally when it recognizes and merges itself into the universal, it gets all the powers of the universal. So, by this Mahavakyas, Jivatma Paramatmanoho Aikyam Vidya. Aikyam Vidya, you will come to know that identity. You will know, I am not an individual Atman, I am that Brahman. I am that Paramatma. I am that Supreme Soul. I am that ultimate Supreme Consciousness. The entire world is my creation. Every leaf is me. I have become the leaf. I have become the twig. I have become all. I have become the animal. I alone am. You come to that stage. Aikyam Vidya between Jivatma and Paramatma. What is Jivatma? Jivatma means the Atman, which has identified itself with the body and considers himself as finite. We call it Dehabhimani. The one who has identified himself with his Sarira, Dehabhimani. And this Jivatma is nothing but a reflection of that great Atman, the pure Atman, the pure consciousness. It is but his reflection. It is only the ego which says, look here, you are the body, you have got a date of birth, celebrate your date of birth, celebrate your date of death. It is all the ego. I never have a birth, I never have a death. Now we come to the next. Avidyakam Shariradi Drishyam Buddha Bhaksharam Yetad Vilakshanam Vidyati Aham Brahmyeti Nirmalam. The Vedas describe a threefold course for attaining the highest. They are known as Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa. These are the three. What is Shravana? First to hearing. There is difference between hearing and hearing. If you hear from a scholar who is repeating what is there, it won't make any impact on you. You will hear, you will say, oh, the lecture was so nice. That's all. It is all momentary and you will forget about it after a couple of days. But if those words come from somebody who is a practitioner, who is practicing it, and who has been practicing it for some time, the one who is austere, the one who has left off to a large extent the desires and the temptations of all objects of the world, and who is certainly with a firm determination set on this course to attain the Brahman. If such a person is to give you some knowledge, it will make a deep impact on many, even those whose spiritual antenna has not grown to a very significant extent. It can even inspire them. So you have to hear it from a qualified practitioner, a registered practitioner. Don't go to that quack. And so, this shloka is going to give you the Shravana, how the teacher is going to teach the pupil as to what is the Brahman. It has already been told in the previous one. It is almost a continuation. These three shlokas represent Shravan, the first step of hearing about the Lord, hearing some of the truths, hearing the method of approach, then the Guru's role is over. He has prescribed and he has given you the medicines. Now it is for you to take it. The second portion is called the Manana. Manana means you meditate over what he has told, mull over it, just like chewing the cud. The cow brings back the food and it is gone again chewing it. Similarly, bring back what all you have Guru. Think over it. You bring to bear on it all your logic, all the analogies in the world, some parallels from which you can understand, so that what you have heard, you should make it your own. You should just get convinced of them by applying all the logic you can. It is called the devil's advocate. What happens? The Pope has got a method of finding out who are the saints. Sometimes there is one man who is doing a lot of miracles, an old man, he cures so many people, then application goes to the Pope. Here is a nice person of God, and he has been doing all these things. He has helped so many people, even blind men have been cured. Why don't you anoint him as a saint? That's called canonization. Canonizing. The Pope won't do it easily on the basis of somebody's telling. He should have it investigated. So he sends a cardinal to that place to inquire everything about him. That cardinal will always come with a negative approach. His idea should be to prove that he is not a saint. So he will put such questions. He will try to probe it in such a manner so that he should get the maximum information to prove that he is not. But in spite of it, if he cannot succeed, then he goes and gives a report, yes, he is a genuine saint. And this person is called the devil's advocate. We have to become the devil's advocate, and that is Manana. You try to prove by all that you have known, by all your logic, by all your reasoning, find out, and that is called Manana. And lastly, the third process is called the Nididhyasana. Now you are sure that there is an Atman, and you are sure what that Atman is. You know that he is immortal, he is eternal, he is absolute, the super consciousness, all these things you know. How to become one with him? There is only one method. Become identified, go on constantly thinking of him, constant remembrance, constant contemplation. That is the only way. Constantly go on thinking of the Atman, all his attributes as you know, all his qualities as you have gathered from your Guru, from your scriptures. Go on thinking of it. Not for 1 hour and then go and look at the world for the rest of the 16 hours a day. No. It has to be a 24 hours job. It has to come to that. As many Mahatmas have told, a stage comes so that you can proceed with your one foot on the world and one foot on the Lord. But not for long. There does come one stage when if you continue to remain with your one foot, you will get caught, you can't remove that foot. That's what will happen. So as such, if you want to approach the highest, you have to leave the world. Leaving the world doesn't mean leaving the house, leaving all, and then wearing a ochre robe and getting out. Leaving the world means 100% be indifferent to whatever happens in the world. Don't be bothered about anything. Somebody comes and says, Papa, the electricity bill they have given arrears for 2 years, they have put 4,000 rupees. What atrocity! How can it be? I have paid all the arrears and I got all the receipts. Immediately you go, send 4 hours, see the chief engineer says you the supervisor says the clerk says you get it in writing the chief engineer, again you go back, and this is not spirituality, that's what no. Spirituality has to be for 24 hours. A contemplation of 24 hours, that is called Nididhyasana. Nididhyasana only results in Samadhi state. The Samadhi state is that when your mind disappears, which is called the Unmani Bhava. When the mind becomes a no mind. When the mind has gone, it is the mind which brought the ego, the I. The I is a product of the mind. Not only the I, it brought the entire world before you. The entire world's imagined fabrication is your mental concoction. So, when that is all goes, what remains? You alone remain. And that is the first stage of Shravana. Avidyakam Shariradi. Avidyakam Shariradi. Drishyam Buddhavadaksharam. Look here, be convinced this is the only way you have to leave the world, completely be convinced that this world cannot do anything for you. It is the greatest stumbling block. So be aware that all this body and other external adjuncts which are limiting you, it is all avidyakam. It has all come out of ignorance. It is ignorance which has created it. It is an illusion. All illusions are due to ignorance. If you are always aware of yourself, why should you have an illusion that you are the body and all that? So avidyakam, avidyayaha iyam avidyakam. It has come out of ignorance. Then drishyam, it is an object. There cannot be any object. It is a subject which looks as if it has become the object. And you are seeing there is no object which stands by itself. The existence of all the objects are due to the existence of the subject. It is due to the existence of the subject. So drishyam means, number one, it has to be an illusion because there is nothing else but Atman. So, if you see anything else, take it that it is something which will disappear one day. Sharam. Sharam means that which decays, that which is destroyed, that which is subject to death. It is sharam. How? Budbudavatu, like the bubbles. You know the bubbles come, how long will the bubbles last? Will it remain for an hour? Not at all. 2-3 minutes the bubbles go, the bubbles burst. So, this body etc. are bubbles, one day they will all burst and go away. Budbudadi, it is budbudavatu. Vatu means life. It is just like a budbuda, just like the bubbles. Drishyam. All the things, all the objects you are seeing, what is their characteristic? Drishta nashta svabhava. This is a term which we often use in Vedanta. Drishta nashta svabhava. You see just now, within a second it is gone, it is changed. This morning only you saw a very beautiful flower blooming like anything. Go by 12 o'clock, you find it has been completely withered like, it has lost its luster, even the color has changed, it doesn't look any more attractive. So what is to happen? Well, that is the nature of all the things in the world. What you see yesterday, you can't see today. What you saw yesterday, you can't see today. There are a lot of changes. So drishtanashta svabhava. It won't take much time for it to disappear. You think for 70 years it was with me, 30 years it was with me, the entire thing is again an illusion.
everything is taking place in a moment. Hundreds of your births, lakhs of years disappear in a moment. Because this space and time is a creation of your mind, it is part of the illusion of this creation. So when you stand outside the creation, you are outside the space and time which you created. When the dreamer is dreaming, he is not inside the dream, he is outside the dream. Inside the dream he has got his duplicate who has identified himself with the dream body. But the real dreamer is outside. He is dreaming himself, he is dreaming of 1,000 elephants and so many hunters, all this in a small room where there is no space, where none of them can stand. But in your dream you are seeing such a big expanse of a forest in South Africa. So you have created space, and then you find that they are going for hunting. Every day they come and they take their meals. Days pass. It is all coming in your dream. So this days pass, 20 days pass since you went to South Africa. You are seeing the dream. So this time also is your own imagination. Because in actual practice, if you see it in terms of the timings of this waking state, only 15 minutes have elapsed, and he finds that has spent 20 days in that forest. And this waking state is another dream. So as to this time also is relative. This is not absolute. So go beyond it. Just as you are a dreamer and you are not inside the space and time, similarly here you are seeing yourself. This is not the reality. The reality is the cosmic being who is a dreamer. Become one with him, then you are outside this space and time which you are created in the waking state too. So this is drishya. This is something which gets lost quickly. This is an object which is capable of being seen, but it cannot remain forever. And understand this Brahman or the Supreme Consciousness is somebody unique who is different from all these. He can't be all these adjuncts, he is different. Yetad vilakshanam vidya. Vilakshana means something far different. Yetad vilakshanam vidya. Know that Brahman is something apart from all these. He is different from all these. Aham brahmeti nirmala. You should know that I am that pure Brahman. I am that pure consciousness. A pure consciousness which is untrammeled, which is unclouded by any ignorance. There is no ignorance at all, and there is no ragadvesha. There is no attachment, there is no enmity, there is no hatred, there is no ill will. There is no attachment, there is no enmity too. You are neutral to the entire world. Otherwise, the waking stage or the other stage, they are all full of some guna or other. Out of the three, during sleep it is all tamoguna, the quality of darkness, the mode of darkness. And in the dream, it is different. So, understand that I am the Brahman, I am the Supreme Consciousness, I am pure, I have got no ignorance, I have got no limitations, I am the infinite, I am the unlimited.